Okay, welcome to the Poetry Box Live. Our next reader, Deborah, is the author of Building a Woman, which was one of the finalists for our 2020 chapbook contest. Deborah Meltvedt is a high school teacher who loves to blend medical science and art in both the classroom and in her own writing. Deborah grew up in the suburbs and fields of the San Joaquin Valley, whose landscapes and culture form a backbone to her poetry. As a doctor's daughter and feminist, she feels strongly about women's health and reproductive rights and respecting the traditional and non-traditional paths women may take in their lives. Her poems and stories have been published in the American River Literary Review, Susurrus, Under the Gum Tree, Tule Review, The Poeming Pigeon, and the creative nonfiction anthology, What I Didn't Know, True Stories of Becoming a Teacher. Deborah lives in Sacramento with her funny and supportive husband, Rick Cushman, and their cat, Anchovy Jack. It's my pleasure to welcome Deborah Meltvedt.
Thank you very much. Wow, it's just, first of all, Carolyn, that was pretty amazing and really, really powerful. So thank you for your voice, and I'm honored to share this reading with you. And of course, Shawn, thank you and the Poetry Box for giving me this opportunity. So my book is, yes, Building a Woman. Here's the picture here. I think I can do that justice. And what I'm really also thrilled about today is when I'm looking at people who logged on, people in my life. And this book is a lot about the women I grew up with and still know, are new people I've met. So I see in the audience today, women I've known since kindergarten. My sister outlaw, niece is here, coworkers. And it's just really meaningful to me because a lot of this writing came out of obviously knowing all of you and what we went through. And also, I want to thank Jan Haig, who's here, and Team Haig. I have Team Haig people here who we write every Saturday under the guru of wonderful Jan Haig, where a lot of these poems came out of. So I wanted to mention that. And hello, Rick, and Anchovy Jack in the other room as well. So. And the other thing is that a lot of this is dedicated also to my mother. So my first poem is called Rain as Story. When I was a child, I drank the rain. April mornings, my sister and I, mouths like baby birds, feeling wicked and wild. We flung out arms, twirled on wet grass, feet freezing, hair sopping, slapping cheeks. But the tulip tree never looked so pink against the storm clouds, or our mother so pleased watching behind pelted glass, her daughters, the globe spinners. Before we would slow ourselves, fret over thunderstorms and ruined looks, before we would hurry off the lawn, pull tight the rain jackets, and let the world spin us, before we would begin to hate ourselves and hate the taste of rain. My second one is called Derby Day, basically May 2007, and basically took place in a hospital room with my mom. Derby Day. You saw us choose, pick our favorites, point out bitten nails sealed in plastic against the tiny print of the sports section on that Kentucky Derby Day. Number 7, number 12, with names like Lucky George, Galloping Go Likely, or Sparks Will Fly. You heard us roar, our masks pulled down for full throttle screams, as if we were spectators in the stands, wearing flaming hats, throwing rose petals to the sweaty backs of bays and grays. And we, the ones you've birthed and fallen for, the ones you've let out the gate, your son and daughters who brought you the paper, the sports section you loved, the wilted roses dying on the sill. We almost never noticed how you opted out, refused the bets, refused to look. Instead, you lay back, ivy drip, mind wide open. But I think you heard us cheer, the collective cry for the horse that came from far behind, some 9.5 lengths, towards glory, towards rest. And I too closed my eyes let tissues fall like confetti in room 408, listening to the thunder of hearts bursting and wanting deep down inside to slow the last lap of that famous race. And my next one is called Reading Ourselves. And this is a lot to my sisters and my girlfriends as we were learning a lot. Reading Ourselves. We want to believe we were poetry in motion, ready to be read that summer like Dickinson's Wild Nights. We were poetry with painted eyes, stanzas shaking silver, our arms waving laughter, tank tops moving like Nereido's pen across the mountaintop. We drank the white and the red, the ones boys bought us, as we metered up and down the bar with no ID, just an opening line that asked, please like me. Our smiles, a simile like the shyness of a child pleading at your knee. The boys bought us the white and the red. We didn't question being dizzy on the dance floor. We thought we were weak-hearted. We hoped we were both worth this recitation. We hoped we were worth the recitation of, damn girl, you look good tonight. I like to think nothing awful really happened. Too many girlfriends standing with claws ready. I like to think we were cupped in men's hands, understood between difficult lines, even if it took years to find our way to reading ourselves. And my next one, and as it was said, I grew up in a doctor's family. My father was a gynecologist obstetrician. And so a lot of my writing and why I went into health education too was being raised in this environment. So there's actually two on this. Here's the first one. Doctor's office. I grew up in the land of gynecology, women waiting. There's the push of heavy doors into my father's practice. We are dropped into the back room like shopping bags to wait with Highlights magazine and obstetrical manuals, eating saltine crackers and drinking 7-Up. We play with the silliness of plastic wombs, finger fallopian tubes, think of drawing fat smiles on the moose head likeness of uterine anatomy charts. In later years, we work in his office, in the kingdom of white coats, women waiting. Words like Mittelschmerz, yeast infections, and salpingo-oophorectomy fall easily off our tongues. We laugh at the woman on the other side of the phone who claims her vibrator makes her pee. And we look down solemn-eyed when the sound of the Doppler goes silent against the bulge of a belly that ripened once, then shriveled. Years later, I make my own appointments in towns far from my father's reign. And when my name is called, I squeeze polite lip through a room of sausage legs and swollen bodies, of women giving so much more of themselves away. Years later, I kill time lying against paper sheets, bite my own tongue when the doctor reaches for something soft beneath my soul, learn to scoot down and shut up, to stare up at ceilings, waiting. Sort of in the same frame, but this is to lighten things a little bit. This is a poem that was also published by the Poetry Box and a recent wonderful book about pop culture. So I'm grateful for having it published in that as well. And it's called 1959. Barbie doll and the pill were born the same year. And I can't help but picture not Malibu Barbie or business Barbie, but clinic patient Barbie. In the Planned Parenthood waiting room, curved legs crossed nervously, pink toes jutting upward, while outside, Ken doll leans on the toy red convertible, smoking candy cigarettes, not hearing when his girlfriend's name is called, and Barbie keeps repeating, it's just Barbie, until realizing, oh shit, it's doll, for the blank space of last name on the medical history form. On the scale, Barbie weighs 0.0507 pounds. And the clinic workers all sigh and say, wow, how do you do it? They find a paper gown that opens in the back. And clinic Barbie meets gyno Barbie, who is broad-chested and keeps rubber gloves in her pocket and says, scoot down, honey, just relax. And while Barbie's legs flex in stirrups, the doctor gasps, Seems Mattel forgot an opening or two. But I would be proud of Clinic Barbie, who may be fake in looks, plastic in body, but if she's going to mess with Ken, at least she's not going to end up being teenage mom Barbie. The toy store just needs to stock the right accessories. Tiny pink pill packets, a plastic speculum, a penis for Ken. Then Clinic Patient Barbie becomes the gift we really want for a daughter or niece, as we imagine the TV ads, hear the jingles between Saturday morning cartoons. Clinic Barbie combed her hair, waiting pretty in a clinic chair. The days were gone of teddy bears. Our little Barbie had grown-up cares. But she was smart and Ken was cute, though both had missing birthday suits. We like to think before the deed. Barb told Ken, let's wait to breed. The downtown clinic was safe and free. Barb filled out forms and Ken agreed to get some pills and condoms too. Clinic Barbie is responsible. Are you? That one was fun. That actually started in my creative writing club with my high school students at school. So, and I think I just have a couple more. On this one, it's called the MRI, and even though this book is a lot about obviously women in my lives, it's also a lot about my husband who supports me so much, and especially with a lot of anxiety that I have about a lot of things in life. And this one is called the MRI. The technician told me he knew as soon as I put my hand up and grabbed metal. Before I yelled, stop, before I cried, I can't do it. He said he gets 2 or 3 just like me every day. Then added, maybe another time. Then, it's okay. When I return to the waiting room, my husband looks up and says, so soon? And my tears start again. So he holds me, lets me unfold, hears me sob saying, the Valium didn't work. Outside, the sky is drizzling. In the parking garage, my husband has trouble figuring out the payment machine. The attendant is patient. No, like this, no problem. There are 3 or 4 an hour just like him every day. We pull out of darkness. The parking garage lever lifts. A mother opens blinds. The child unlocks her bedroom door. We pull out of darkness because the doctor judged, but the technician was kind. Because somebody says, no worries, we see you. We see 3 or 4 or more, just like you every day, just like you. And my last one, and of course you can read more by getting the book. This is just a little snap. Last one is actually should be dedicated to our cat, Anchovy Jack. And it's called The Big Dipper. It goes. My cat drops kibble in the shape of constellations. In our kitchen, you need to be careful not to step on crunchy stars. In his first life of 9, before we claimed him, someone kicked our cat in the jaw and sent him flying. The foster cat for free became the $900 aftermath of annual teeth cleaning and tooth extraction. To eat, he starts with a mouthful of dry food, then loses half the battle. But in violence, stars were born. A 10-pound pack of fur and bone and very few teeth somehow gives hope in a world of angry boots. Gives me hope when I read about the darkest corners of humans carrying torches that never give light. And I realize that even the smallest of critters can survive hatred and even make me laugh when I look down and see the sky on the most ordinary of earthly floors. So thank you very much. Put back in. Appreciate it. Thanks. Oh, I like the Barbie doll I'm seeing too. Yes. Yes. Thank you. And thanks again for listening, and hope you enjoy more poems in my book here.
Thank you, Deborah. That was fantastic. And Anchovy Jack is one lucky cat. He really is. And I have to say, in listening to all these poems today, of course, I love the Barbie, the Gyno Barbie doll, poem. That's just fun. But the one that's called Doctor's Office, I thought you really captured the whole gynecology experience perfectly, because it's a room, it's a place where we go as women that we share some of the greatest joy, some of the biggest fears, some of the biggest insecurities. And between stanzas, between the lines of your poem, you jump back between all those emotions in the most fabulous way. And you really kind of captured it all. So I really commend you on that. I think that was really a great piece.
Thank you. Thank you very much.